Well, hello, Silver 8 students. I hope you're all doing well and you and your families are staying safe. This has been some interesting times here, obviously. I believe we've set the world record for the longest spring break now. We're going on about 3.5 weeks. So, maybe that's enough time to where you're actually getting bored and almost, motivated or excited to get back to school a little bit. So, things are obviously going to be different in how we're going to do this. There's some limitations and some disadvantages to teaching this way, but there's also I think there's some positive things. There's some things we can take advantage of and do a little differently, and I'm kind of looking forward to giving that a try there. So obviously, we're going to use Canvas because that's where this video is from. So hopefully you keep looking at that. We're going to give you assignments that way. We're going to have you submit your things that we'll grade that way. We'll do some communicating, obviously, through Canvas. Keep in mind, you can also communicate through the regular school email, like you always have been. We're going to try, the district has set up some things they're calling office hours, to where we're going to try to do this, I think it's called Zoom. Have you heard of that? So this old dog's going to try to learn some new tricks, and I'm going to try to, would Zoom be the verb? What do you do? Do you Zoom when you Zoom? So whatever that is, we're going to give that a try. For science, those office hours happens to be 8 to 10 Monday and Wednesdays. That's 8 to 10 a.m. for so we'll get to see some of you guys in your pajamas maybe, or eating breakfast or whatnot. So kind of looking forward to see how that works. I've been practicing it, and I think it might be interesting. So for science, here's what we're going to do. The 4 science teachers that teach 8th grade, that'd be myself, Mrs. Harris here at Anthony. Over at Eisenhower, that's Mr. Smith and Mr. Hastings. We've been talking and we've been doing a variety of things. There's really 6 weeks left this quarter, and we're going to chop that up into 6 little mini units, if you will, each one lasting a week. We're going to start on Wednesday. First one will be April 1st, and it'll go through the next Tuesday, and you'll have a variety of different assignments that you'll find on your page. It should be the front page when you go to Silver 8 Science, and it should tell you, here's what you're expected to do this week. There will be a variety of different things. You're going to have some reading assignments. There'll be some, you might even use this old book that you got when you came here and you got your stuff. This is the teacher edition, but you got one that looks like this, should have the letter K on it somewhere. So you might be asked to read and answer some questions out of that. There's obviously some YouTube videos. We're always going to try each week to give you some activities to try, not necessarily a full-blown experiment where you measure things and make a graph and come up with conclusions, but just some things to demonstrate and to practice, and try some different variety of the lessons that will help you apply what we're trying to teach you here. We understand that you all don't have the same resources and supplies and time for everything, so there'll always be some choices. You'll have maybe 6 or 7 things to pick 2 or 3 things to do from. Of course, you can do all of them if you want. So the good news is there's only going to be 1 assessed assignment each week. So you're going to get 1 thing that's going to be graded that week, and that should be pretty clear. You'll wait till the end of the week to do it, and then you'll submit that back in there. That's also kind of a bad thing too, because if there's only 6 assignments that we're going to grade for the whole quarter, if you don't do one of them, or if you need to do better on one of them, that could have a serious effect on your overall grade. So make sure you understand that. And while we're on the subject of grades here, I thought I'd throw this out. Since you're 8th graders and boom, next year it's high school, some people think, hey, 8th grade grades, not that big a deal. They don't count if they're not as good as they don't. When you go to high school and you want to do something extracurricular, you have to be eligible for that. They do not have weekly eligibility like we do. They have a whole semester. That's a half a school year. That they will say you're either eligible or you're ineligible. And your first fall semester as a 9th grader, eligibility depends on your spring semester 8th grade grades. So that'd be your 3rd quarter grades you've already earned, and now these 4th quarter grades that you're earning, online here. So I'm not going to tell you all the details of what exactly you have to have, but there's a possibility that if you don't do well enough, you may get to high school in August and realize, hey, I can't partake in anything extracurricular until January because my 8th grade grades weren't good enough. So don't let don't let that be a problem. Like I said, communication is a key. If you've got any questions, email me, call the school. We'll use Canvas or whatever. And office hours, you can show up and try to talk to me a little bit through Zoom. Should be interesting. And looking forward to getting through this with you guys as a good challenge. I'm glad. Well, I'm not glad, but glad we get to finish the school year up in some way. It's obviously not what we wanted in any way, shape, or form, but and I hope I get to see a lot of you guys, if not electronically, maybe in person throughout town and in different ways. So, bye.